10 True Signs that your man has stopped loving you. According to Steve Harvey, the author of the popular novel Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, a man's love is expressed in 3 forms. He declares his rights for you in public, protects, and takes care of you. However, a part of this saying can be doubted because, in our time, not all women need to be provided for or protected by men. What they definitely need is love. Unfortunately, sometimes women tend to see love when it's not really there. Sometimes a woman can feel that something is wrong without having to hear it from her partner. We at Brightside gathered a list of 10 signs that a man's strong feelings of love and adoration have faded. We hope that you won't see these signs from your man, but it is important to know what to look out for. Criticism of appearance. Altmar Khayyam said, "A person will like everything, even the flaws, of their beloved, but will be annoyed at the perfection of those whom he does not love." For a truly loving man, you are always beautiful, even with messy hair and even in your oversized nightgown. He will not notice that you have gained a couple of extra pounds after the winter holidays if you do not say it yourself. But if your man constantly tells you to go to the gym or hints that you need plastic surgery, do not rush to indulge him. It is most likely that it's not your appearance that doesn't suit him but you yourself. And even if you lose weight, he will find other faults in you. Discussing your shortcomings with friends. Women tend to discuss problems in relationships or their partner's shortcomings with their friends, while men try to keep everything unspoken. No one is perfect, but truly loving people focus on the advantages of the partner instead of focusing on the flaws. If your partner allows himself to publicly humiliate you and laughs at your failures, do not expect anything good from such a relationship. Such a partner doesn't respect you, and a strong and reliable union is impossible without respect. By criticizing you with other people, he unconsciously tries to prove to others, and himself, that it's your fault that he stopped loving you. His attitude toward your habits. Women like to complain about men's socks scattered around the house, but they also sometimes have annoying or strange habits. We like to occupy the bathroom for 2 hours and chat with our girlfriends as much as possible, fill the wardrobe with unnecessary stuff, eat from our boyfriend's plate, or keep singing the same song all day long. Loving men, as a rule, endure all this and remain silent or react with humor. If your man is constantly scrutinizing every little thing you do and making negative comments about your behavior, it means that the only feeling he has left is irritation instead of love. Attentiveness to your stories. Scientists have proved that a man is able to listen to a woman attentively for only 6 minutes. That's why, ladies, the next time you plan to have a conversation with your beloved, keep it short. The topics on which it is very difficult for a man to concentrate are unfamiliar people, celebrities, shopping, fashion, and diets. If possible, it's best to discuss these types of things with your friends. And yet, if a man sees that something is very important to you, he will make an effort to listen to you attentively, even if this topic is completely uninteresting to him. When he loves you, he won't leave you without attention. But if he keeps changing the topic or runs away using different excuses whenever you try to talk, most likely, your worries do not bother him. Accordingly, he is not going to participate in the resolution of any issues that may come up during the relationship. His attitude toward your emotions. Men absolutely cannot stand women's tears. And recently, a scientific explanation has been found. It turns out that female tears contain special volatile substances that lower the level of testosterone in the blood of men, which leads to a decrease in sexual desire. So do not use crying as a means of influencing your beloved often. In fact, when you cry, the only thing a man wants to do is run away and not see it. But if he loves you, he will pull himself together and do everything he can to try to comfort you, even if the reason you're crying seems trivial to him. He will calm down only when you start smiling again. However, if he doesn't love you, then your tears will be just one more reason to get angry at you. Flirtatiousness. Flirting is very good for relationships. This is a great tool to revive feelings and overcome routine when you have been together for a long time. Text messages, intriguing hints, playful photos, all this helps rekindle mutual interest, as in the first days of the relationship. Of course, it is very important that both partners actively respond to each other's advances. However, if you have already sent in erotic selfies in different poses to your partner and have been coming up with new lines, but the reaction from your man is zero, stop doing it. Or consider what could be causing your partner to ignore your advances. His reaction to requests. For a loving man, the requests and wishes of his beloved, not friends or distant relatives, will always take first place. In fact, men like to help women. This gives them the opportunity to demonstrate how cool, strong, and responsible they are. Of course, there are situations when a man cannot help. For example, he does not know how to repair a faucet, but he certainly should not leave you alone to deal with this problem. He will call the plumber instead. However, if the most innocent request, like asking for help changing a light bulb, is perceived with annoyance and as just yet another unbearable task, the relationship is worth reconsidering. Is it possible that your man is helping some other woman and with greater enthusiasm? Jealousy. It turns out that even monkeys are able to feel jealous of their partners around other males. Jealousy rose in the course of evolution as a way to maintain the integrity of the couple. A man is wired so that subconsciously he wants to declare his rights to a woman and to be the only owner of her beauty. Therefore, it is quite natural that your man starts to get nervous when someone pays attention to you. But people, of course, are not monkeys, and bouts of excessive jealousy will only harm the relationship. But when a man is absolutely indifferent to the signs of attention that other men show his lady, this is an alarming sign. He no longer wants to fight for her and doesn't want to try to become better to stay the best for her. Protection from danger. The need to protect their loved ones is also the basis for men, while the need to be protected is the basis for women. And although modern men no longer have to protect the weaker sex from predators and wild tribes, there are still dangers in our troubled world. Therefore, it is pretty natural that a loving man becomes worried when his second half comes back from work late or is alone in an unfamiliar place. If he cannot be around, then he'll at least call her and make sure she's fine. By protecting a woman from threats, whether real or imaginary ones, a man feels like a superhero. Therefore, if you do not get protection and support from a man in difficult situations, such as having to walk home alone at night, getting lost in an unfamiliar city, or getting yelled at by your boss, this is a very bad sign. Your chosen one is either a coward or simply doesn't like you. Why do you need him then? Gentle words and expressing feelings. The language of love consists of tender words, touches, hugs, and kisses. When we call a partner things like sweetheart, darling, or dear, we create a special intimate atmosphere. The choice of affectionate names occurs unconsciously and shows how one partner relates to the other, who dominates the relationship, and how well they are balanced. By the way, men need all this lovey-dovey stuff just as much as women do. Researchers from the US interviewed 1,000 married couples and found that those husbands who often kiss and hug their wives feel 3 times happier in a marriage than those who don't. So if your man frowns every time you try to hug him and call sweetheart, the reason is not his natural male rigor. As sad as it may sound, his feelings have probably faded away.